Just take a look at your phone for a second. How many apps do you have? You probably got one for texting friends, another one for paying for stuff, one for ordering food, a different one for work. It gets kind of cluttered, right? Well, what if, and just think about this, what if you could do all of that, and I mean all of it, inside just one single app? Today, we're diving deep into the world of the super app. And I mean everything. Seriously. Not just an app you open to do one thing and then close. Imagine an app that's more like a digital world you live inside. The one place you go to manage your entire life. Sounds a little bit like science fiction, doesn't it? Well, it's not. For more than 1 billion people, this kind of app isn't a fantasy, it is their wallet. It's how they pay for their morning coffee, settle their monthly bills, and even manage their investments. Cash and credit cards, they're practically museum pieces in this world. But it's so much more than just money. It's also the center of their social universe. Picture your favorite messaging app, your go-to video call service, and your social media feed all just seamlessly rolled into one place. That's what we're talking about. And here's where it gets really wild. It's also their office. It's used for all the day-to-day work communication, for coordinating with clients, and even for managing these incredibly complex supply chains. For a lot of people, leaving the app would literally mean cutting themselves off professionally. And it doesn't even stop there. This is how you interact with the government. Need to book a hospital appointment, pay for the subway, access public services? Yep, it all happens right inside this one single ecosystem. So what do you call this all-in-one marvel? It's called a super app. And this isn't some concept for the future. It is the daily reality in China, and it's all powered by an app called WeChat. It's not just an app on your phone. It's the operating system for your life. Okay, so how on earth did one app get so powerful? I mean, this didn't just happen by accident. WeChat's total dominance is built on this really brilliant and strategic foundation of 3 core pillars that once you're in, kind of lock you into its world. And when I say dominant, I really mean it. We're talking about roughly 1.3 billion people using this thing every single month. That scale is it's almost impossible to wrap your head around, and it's the absolute key to understanding its power. So the strategy is genius, and it's built on these 3 pillars. First, you start with communication. You become the social network that connects everyone. Okay, once you've got the network, you introduce financial services, becoming everyone's digital wallet. And then, once you have their social lives and their money, you can just layer on top of it everything else. Entertainment, shopping, you name it. That financial pillar was a total game changer. While we in the West built our digital world on top of credit cards, China basically leapfrogged that entire generation of tech. WeChat Pay let the whole country jump straight from cash to mobile payments, all using these super simple QR codes. It created a cashless society with incredible speed. Right, but this brings up a huge question. If you're offering messaging, payments, and all these services for free, how do you become one of the most valuable companies on the planet? Let's pop the hood and look at the monetization engine. The key here really is diversification. A massive chunk of the money comes from what they call value-added services, which is mostly dominated by its parent company, Tencent's gigantic gaming empire, the biggest in the world. But a ton of money also flows in from all those financial tech services, and of course from super targeted advertising. So how do they actually get the money? Well, it's not one big thing, it's billions and billions of tiny things. They make money from people buying virtual items in games. They sell incredibly valuable and rare ad space in the social feed. They take a tiny little percentage fee from a massive, massive volume of merchant transactions, and they even sell cloud services back to the businesses that operate inside their own ecosystem. It's brilliant. All right, let's zoom out a bit, because the rise of the super app really shows this fundamental split in how the digital world is put together. The all-in-one integrated model you see in the East is just profoundly different from the fragmented world we live in here in the West. This table right here says it all. In the West, we have a specific app for pretty much everything, right? WhatsApp for messaging, PayPal for payments, Uber for a ride. But in China, you access all of these services directly inside WeChat, usually through something called mini programs. Think of them like tiny little apps that run inside WeChat. You never have to download anything new. You want to order a car, buy a movie ticket, do some online shopping, you just do it without ever leaving the main app. To put it simply, in the West, we have an app for everything. In China, there's one app that is everything. But, and this is a huge but, this incredible convenience comes with a major, major trade-off. On one hand, you have this efficiency that is just completely unparalleled. On the other hand, you have a concentration of data that is totally unprecedented.
Having your social, your financial, and your personal life all in one single place, run by one company that operates under very strict state oversight, well, it brings up some profound questions about privacy and surveillance. It's the ultimate societal bargain between convenience and control.
So, does that mean this model is just unstoppable? Well, not necessarily. Even a digital giant like this faces some pretty big headwinds that could really shape the future of the super app, both inside and outside of China.
Yeah, it's facing challenges from all sides. At home, there's fierce competition from rivals like ByteDance, the company that made TikTok, and a huge anti-monopoly crackdown from the Chinese government itself. And internationally, well, geopolitical distrust has basically slammed the brakes on WeChat's expansion, because it's often seen as a tool of state control in Western markets.
And that all leaves us with this one final, really crucial question. As companies here in the West try to bundle more and more services together, are we slowly, maybe unintentionally, drifting toward our own version of a super app? Is this model of ultimate integration the inevitable future for all of us? Or does the bargain it asks us to make, that trade-off, mean it's a future we should be actively trying to avoid? The answer to that is probably going to define our digital lives for decades to come.